Okay, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to look at a 16 GB that I did and I failed due to a very weird thing. You're gonna see in the end what it's going to be, but I'm going to use this video as a guide for people that want to tank high keys, especially hard keys. Um, I have my experience as a title pugger, so a person that bugs for title every season pretty much. Maybe some seasons I don't push as high. Um, I have had experience in Dragonflight season 1 as protection paladin when it was meta, and I got title by a sliver, like 10 points above title. Second season I rolled VDH, which wasn't meta, and because of that, I was just getting gapped by the Guardian Druids, and I couldn't achieve uh, title range IO. Um, Third season I got title as VDH, and fourth season I quit. And this season I'm attempting to get title, and I'm gonna walk you through the process of how my mind thinks on polls like these. Obviously, if you take very very high performing players such as Yoda, Kira, Kaya, you would see like insane performance and gameplay that is almost like inhumane, and it's very difficult uh, to get right. It's very difficult to do the same. So um, I am a pretty good player, but I am not the best. Obviously, I'm working towards that, um, being the best that I can. But at the same time, I know that I can fetch some ideas that some people might think it's common on our range, while people that are sitting at the very top of the food chain, people that are timing 20s, 19s, are on a whole different level. So maybe I can make this more um, straightforward. So let's begin. There is some music, so I'm gonna turn it a bit down. So the key begins in 5 seconds, and obviously you go in this key into bulwark in the very last second for the 2 million HPS you might get. When you enter this pool, you want to generate holy power and shield the guy that casts. You have to make sure that your team coordinates their kicks for that, because he's gonna keep kicking. So I tag the big guy, and then I wings, and then I have shield back up, so I tag the other guy and I divine toll, and I spell ward the enhancement. This is very important, so he can do his damage. I'm actually going Giga like safe, and I bubble as well. It's not necessary. I waste all my cooldowns, but I just want to make sure that this pull is right, because the next pull is not that much of a difficult. It's not that difficult. Our DPS is pumping very much in this pull, so everything dies in like 40 seconds, which is kind of insane. It's actually a record time. I've done this key roughly 5 to 6 times, and this was a record time for that. This pull, you can see on my bottom bars, I have no defensive. I have no defensives. I have bulwark, Ardent is coming up, and I have lay. But yeah, I use Ardent right now, and these brutes, yeah, they do a massive tank buster on you. So this pack, although it's a 4 pack, it's like very difficult. So I lay myself, and it's important that I realize this aura that I have over here. That's my armor. So I gain a lot of armor by laying myself, so it's really good. But right now I should be safe. Like I have PS on me, um, and I'm just kicking the earth bolts. I could chain this into the next pull, but it's very dangerous to do so. I'm playing like I know that my DPS are good in this key, so I'm playing as safe as I possibly can and don't die. So the healer commits his second PS on me, which is not necessary, but in a pug situation, like it's whatever. I do not pull the earth call over there because the pet is there. If I throw a shield, it's gonna aggro the pet. So I throw the left back first, and then I aggro, and then I divine toll, and I just follow my standard rotation, and start kicking. Like as proc paladin, you don't wanna just kick the mass eruptions. You wanna kick the bolts as well, because the bolts, if they uh, if they double on someone, it could actually kill someone if they're not like paying attention and paying their defensives. It's also important to notice that this pull is a triple brute pull, which can get you off guard. You're thinking that the big guy that casts arrive is not there, so maybe you're safe. It's not a situation that's gonna happen. You're gonna have trouble with these guys if you're not paying attention. So we kill off this bull, and it's very important to know what I'm about to do right now. And usually people that are bugging in like high IO range do this, is that you clear everything pretty normally, but you focus the 3 caster pack. So the 3 caster pack, it is very necessary that you kick it, because pulling it into the big bull with dragon is it's very sketchy. So it's not a good idea to do that. And what I do, because I'm playing this key hella safe, since it's a 16 and not a top R1 key, is that I just do the casting guys alone. So as you can see, I ping them, and I just ping my team to blow them up, and we get them down to like 40%. So it's pretty good. I freed up myself here to get more speed than I horse, obviously, and I guess I didn't horse. So I'm using my weapons here since I don't want to wings. I kick as much as I can. Actually, you're gonna see the DK is gonna dip in HP quite a lot here, because nobody's pressing anything here. Like they're holding their twos. As you can see from my frames, everybody has their twos lined up. So the DK is gonna get doubled here. Look, and he almost dies. Like it's actually a miracle that he didn't die there. So I shield the caster, obviously, so he doesn't stay casting there. Then I wings, Divine Toll, my spell warding is back, my enhancement shaman is about to burst, and the AoE is coming out, and he has the dot. So I spell ward him, and I of tier. This pack, the only difficulty in this pack is the Overseer riving you when the Destroyer AoEs. If that happens, you have to press a hard defensive. I'm not talking Eye of Tier. I'm talking like Ardent, Bubble, Guardian. You're not surviving this combo. Right now I'm pretty tanky, so I like the AoE doesn't do as much. But if you're not paying attention, the AoE can actually like chunk 70% of your HP. So I'm making a mistake here. I'm not dragging this into the next pull. The Tinha actually pings me to go next. And then I follow. So my Divine Toll is coming back up and my Wings is on CD, but this pull, I Divine Toll for safety. Not because I need interrupts, but because I need the shield that it generates. I'm gonna get rived anyways, which is kind of bad, but whatever. I have a big shield. And this boss is probably one of the hardest tank boss ever, really. I can't really think of a more difficult fight. So this boss, I can't say it's scripted, but it depends on your comp. For the first bleed, if you have an AUG, the AUG is always going to dispel you. You cannot go like naked into the bleed. You have to press something. So Eye of Tear or Bulwark or something like that. The DK actually dies to something. I don't know what it is. Um, but yeah, I pressed something here. I don't know what I pressed actually. Maybe I didn't press anything. That was a mistake. But he dispels me and I'm safe. We go to the safe spot. Bleed is in 10 seconds. I'm either gonna bubble or ardent. I'm not sure here. Ardent is actually not a good defensive choice. Simply because it doesn't last like as long as the AoE. So you can see that it's fading now. So I actually lay myself here as soon as I get like the AoE. And for the next one, it's pretty obvious that I'm gonna bubble. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see like on the party frames below the PS is the tracker for the Augur Evoker Dispel. So next bleed, I'm gonna have this spell. So I have to commit Eye of Tear to that because I can't go in blind again. If you go in naked into these bleeds on a 16, you just die. Like you can't do that. I have Trinket also, which is an option. So Skull Splitter in 3 seconds. I don't know if I Trinket here. Maybe I just Tear. Nah, I Trinket, but I Trinket late. I get PS and I get over external here. I get PS and I get dispelled. This is one of the things that usually happen when you're pugging. If you're asking why this boss is taking so long, it's actually a good question because our DPS is not popping right now. Like we're doing kind of low, but this is a high movement fight. So for this, what do? I ardent, okay, and I bop myself, okay. Very important here to use your bop. Like you don't need it for the next 2 packs, anyways. You can taunt the boss and bop yourself to remove the bleed, but you have to cancel the bop instantly or you're gonna kill a DPS. So, this bleed, I have Guardian, and you can see that my Guardian is gonna fade off when the AoE comes, and the PS actually saves me. If I didn't have PS there, I'm pretty sure I was dead. So that was a misplay by me, and a very good play by the priest. And right now we have either Tear, Ardent, Bubble, or Trinket. I choose to Bubble, okay. And then we have Dispel for next. So that's a easy Tear. You should save your Tear for every Dispel. You should have it for every Dispel because the Dispel CD is 1 minute. So next Cold Splitter is coming. I don't know what I'm going to press. Probably Tear. Yes, I just pressed Tear. So I Tear and I Trinket. So the damage barely comes through. The guy says I need something. I sack him. And we're fine. The next bleed is gonna come. I'm pretty sure I ardent. But yeah, our damage here is not very good. Like 1 mil DPS is very low with an AUG. I don't know if our AUG was trolling or something, if the uptime was bad. I mean, he was cauterizing me very well. But yeah. So the AoE didn't come off. I was hoping on that because if it went off, I would be dead. So as the DK just says, we have 2s, we have PI, maybe we just send here, and the correct answer is to send here because it's gonna come back for lust. So right here, I DT, I open with wings, obviously, and I Trinket. That's to for the Think Buster, and I have Tear probably, I think. Yeah, I do. Okay. And this is where you shine. You have to kick pretty much everything here. You have to stun, blind, do everything you can. I sacked the guy that got the bolts. What kills people in this pack is the bolt plus the giant AoE. So you have to avoid that at all costs. I don't press anything here because I have a 4 million absorb shield, and I go into this pack pretty dry. I don't have anything. I'm just gonna ardent the first thing. I ardent on the pole, which is a mistake again. So you can see that I'm making mistakes as a title player here. And right now, I think I just bulwark? No, I bubble. Okay. So DT is back, and we're in a situation where we need kicks. So I throw DT without wings. You're gonna be doing that quite a lot, actually, and you can't really really avoid it. So right now I have Eye of Tear and PS at the last second, so I take no damage. The slow casting bolts are the most important ones because the channels, they don't deal so much damage. They actually just incapacitate people that are getting cast. But if the slow cast goes through, it's like a pretty chunk of health, and it's probably gonna kill you even if the AoE is delayed. So I finally ardent here, which is bad because next pull I actually need it. So the way that so it's very important. Right now I'm gonna pause the video for the first time in the video. It's very important that you just snapshot this moment and look at your cooldowns. If you have like nothing, you have to ask your team for help. Because at this key level, you have to pull the pack together with the boss, and they do massive damage to you. Like the AoE plus the melee from the boss plus the double flame renders, like they do a lot of damage to you. So right now, what do I have? I have Guardian, I have Lay, and I have Spell Warding. So what do we do? Well, I see that my team is having their cooldowns back in 10 seconds, so we're gonna have everything flawless. Everything is going as planned. So I aggro the boss, I shield the caster, obviously. Then I wings, I plant myself on the LOS spot, and then I spell warding myself. That's very important. And then you can see those cats like noises. That's the tank buster from the flame render. So I immune them. Um, and right now we just blast them like completely. Like I'm throwing everything here. I'm throwing shield. I'm saving guardian. I have bubble and guardian for this, so I'm giga safe. Right now I throw guardian for this, so I'm pretty safe. And we're fine. By the way, I baited this boss very poorly. Um, if the cast was on me, I would just have bricked the key. Um, so don't do what I did. Like bait the frontal properly. This fight is very like stressful on the healer, and like especially if you don't have CDs to like mitigate the damage from the AoE. The damage from the AoE and the dot that drops the pulls are hella deadly. Like it's not even close. So into this we go AMZ. You can see that my team is pressing no defensives. We're just raw dogging it with the AMZ, and then I'm gonna get comboed here. Sorry, that's frontal first. So my wings is coming back, and you see that the CDs from my teammates are back in 50 seconds, which is right on time actually, because by the time it comes back, we're gonna be on top of the pack doing a lot of damage. So I call for PS here, but the heal doesn't have it, and I didn't check because the stack was like on top of the cooldown, so I couldn't really check. So I commit an Ardent here, and I heal myself. Um, so he's gonna. I'm pretty sure that the evoker just procced. So I go to the pack, right? As I'm supposed to. CDs are back in 10, so I should be pulling right now. I only have bubble. This is a situation. This is a hard situation. So when I told you to snapshot that moment and like evaluate how you're gonna do the pull, is because you are supposed to immune the flame renders by bubbling. If you don't do that, um, you will end up in a situation where you will have no spell warding because that's what you're gonna use. And for this pull, you're fucked because if you bubble, bubble actually works in a 15-yard radius. So if you bubble like really far away from the pack, you might troll your group and make the flame renders cast on the healer or something. So you have to be extra careful. You have to immune at the second that they start casting. So I pull the earth collar. I wings probably. Um, so it's hella weird. The guy pulls in the pack. I bubble, and we're safe. So the slappy hands from the DK saves the day, and we're dealing hella damage to this pack, and we kill it off pretty easily. I have Eye of Tear and Ardent coming up, so the next set I'm probably gonna Ardent. Um, no, Eye of Tear. Okay. So at this moment, in the key, my heart rate is racing because this execution is fucking hard to do. Like this, what we're doing right now is like very, very difficult to execute, even in our range. Like even with good players. Um, so I'm doing my best to not troll the key, and like stay focused. So I actually lose my tier set here by like focusing too much, I guess. That's the countdown, by the way, that shows in the middle. Um, and I have wings into this bowl. There's nothing really important about this bowl. I mean, you just do what paladins do, just kick everything you can. My damage in this key is actually really bad because I'm playing so defensive. But I mean, as a first key that you do in that range, like it's fine, whatever, you know. If you're farming 16 GB, then well, you're in another league. So I see that uh the priest was like very low. I tried to sack him, I think, but I didn't get the global quite right. And the shaman gets like bolts, but we're safe because the AoE is still on cooldown. So here maybe I just spell block cap myself. I don't know. Do I press anything here? I have 4 million. I have the trinket. So this pull, usually you pull this pull with the lava bender, but it depends on the pad. On our run, the pad was really bad, like it was all the way over there. So I just had to pull these guys. It's very important that you open with Ardent as soon as you can, because the Enforcer will one shot you. Like he will not mess you up. He's gonna mess you up. I mean. So right now we're throwing every cooldown possible because the lava bender is here. And I'm obviously targeting the lava bender and watching for casts. As protection paladin, like you have to use your utility in your kit as best as you possibly can. Like that sounds obvious, but in practice it's kind of hard. Because like I can actually fetch the overall kicks that I did in that dungeon. I'm pretty sure that I did like double the amount that the second guy did. So that's what protection paladin brings. And when it's OP, like it's meta, like instantly, because it's such a good kit. We actually get kind of low on this lava bender, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we get a little bit low here because we're running out of juice. And we do a little small pack to get our CDs back. Like respecting the enforcer, obviously. So I'm gonna ardent, obviously. I do not have a tracker for the enrage, but like I can see like if he's getting bigger or not. And as soon as he is, I just hodge. Nothing really important on this pack, really. I see the guy is big, so I just kite a bit, so his enrage comes back. A cast goes off, but everything's good. Kinda get low here. I'm gonna have a 40 bomb for my stacks on this pull. I don't know if I pump on this pull, maybe not. I'm not pumping on the dungeon regardless, so it's very difficult to know. But I pull this pack with the lava bender and everybody has twos. Like you wanna, this dungeon is scripted, right? If you're running with twos, like it's hella scripted. Like everything comes back exactly for what is supposed to come back. So if you play properly, everything's just gonna line up perfectly. And this is the kind of coordination that you have to do in order to time this key on a 16, which is insane. Like this key is way harder than maybe 18s, to be honest. So we have the blow up. We have some defensives committed here, which is good because our next bat is again a bad roll on the pad. The pad is all the way in the back. But to be honest, to be very honest with you, I think that not aggroing the pad is a good idea because we are hella low on juice. Anyhow, this pull is like you just watch out for the flame render. Obviously, like the flame render is a big deal. Usually, like if you want to min max it, you can make sure that that you avenge your shield and wog yourself for maximum spell block, so you can like block it a little bit. But that's not the only thing that you should be like pressing. You have to press something. So the pack is here, so I pull it, and I wings by mistake, by the way, because next pull is very aggressive. But the way that we did this was actually perfect because it lined up our CDs very well, and we managed to do this lava bender without cooldowns, which is terrific. I don't know if the healer sent out his mind bender, probably because next pack is not really that healer intensive. But yeah. So the blow up is coming right now. We're like very healthy. So yeah, so this pull is like maybe the hardest pull in the dungeon. You have to have absolutely everything here, and I don't have wings, but I just send. So I spell ward myself in order to tank the hit from the shadow from the flame renders. Notice that my team is perma CCing the ads, which is bad because they cast again on me, as you can see, and I bubble here. And right now I'm looking hella sketchy, like I don't have anything else. And then the priest comes with a PI right after my CDs, which is fucking amazing. Like this priest is nailing like the parts where I need it. So I trinket here and I decide to line a little bit. Lining right now is not necessary because the tank buster ability is on cooldown anyways. But I'm I'm safe right now, although it doesn't look like it because Arden is back. So I mean, Arden is pretty much immunity to be honest. Like you don't die. So right now I'm looking to see that I hug the corner here. I actually hug the corner because I want to line the cast. So he's gonna cast it. I'm gonna line it. That's because if I take that shit, I'm probably dead because I have nothing. And then we go into third boss. I'm gonna skip a bit here. This is pretty normal. Nothing really interesting happening on the first phase of this boss. So we have Lust coming up, and we have 11 minutes left, which is perfect for this dungeon. And very important lesson that I learned here: you do not judgment the boss. You taunt it because if judgment the boss and it crits, your hero talent will proc and aggro the lava bender. So you have to taunt, and then you can judgment when he's safe. So he lusts, and so this place, I I'm gonna be honest, guys. I haven't figured this place out because the tornadoes hit me like all the time. So I take a lot of damage from this place. As you can see, I just took damage from the tornado over there. So there's the frontal. I think I bubble here. Yeah, I bubble the frontal. You can just jump over the little ledge over there and like not take the frontal. I do this on this run as well, but it's not necessary. I mean, if you wanna press just the defensive, it's fine. Just don't take it raw, because then you're fucked. So I have Arden coming up. I have Guardian. I have Spell Warding. I have quite a lot. So I Arden myself because I see the fucking tornado just taking half my HP again. So I Guardian this, and I have a big shield. I use Trinket. This is actually a hella close fight for me because I almost die, like, because of the NATOs. I'm trying to spell ward myself, but I'm in forbearance for like 3 seconds, so I can't. So I'm like struggling. I'm like, holy fuck, what did I do? So now I move so I don't get the frontal, and then I come back. And I am the shit. Like, I'm taking a lot of damage. But the boss HP is at 60%, so that means that I just have to live a little bit longer. So I decide to bubble, not on the best spot possible. And then wing buffet, I take this raw, which is really bad. You do not want to take this raw. You want to take this with like CDs, you know? So frontal, I move out. So obviously I have nothing, so I'm just gonna die if I do that. And then we have a very bad overlap. I can't really call it an overlap, it's just the mechanic of the fight. But the ads spawn when the boss is about to die. So like they have to focus the ads, um, or else they can't really hit the boss because they're melee. But yeah, so I'm holding my wings, which is not a good idea. Like I'm very greedy here. So everybody almost dies, and we kill the boss, and I almost die as well. So it's very sketchy. So I really have to like do not do the same as I did on that. So we have 8 minutes left. It's pretty doable. I do not pull the dragon, so we have like a lot of time here. I think somebody dies here. Oh no, I die here, I think. Yeah, that's insane. You know what it was? Enforcer, 5 stacks, and then Flame Render. Without anything. Boom. Just dead. And the DK dies as well because of that. But we keep going because we still have time. 7 minutes is plenty still. I'm waiting for him still because I don't know if it's a good idea to go without him, but I just go, I guess. So I'm desperately trying to like just do this key and get it done. And then I divine toll here, but I shouldn't. But like at this point, my heart rate is probably like over the roof. Like I'm so close to timing this key, and this key is like by far the hardest key in the season. So I make a bad decision here. After the hatchling dies and the corrupt fades, I'm thinking, oh, maybe he just comes to the next pull, so I aggro the next pull. And that's a bad idea to do because he's gonna cast it again, so he's just gonna stay there. So I realize my mistake, and I see that it's gonna get casted on a priest, and I just spell ward the priest, just to save his life. And I probably did because he didn't press a defensive. So we have 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, and we only need this pack and another one. Last boss takes maybe 3 minutes and a half, 4 minutes max. We won't have lost because we died twice, I think. Or maybe we will by like the very end of the fight. So I'm looking at everybody's HP, I just making sure that everybody lives. And this time I plant, like I stay. But we really have to kill this fast. We don't have enough prio. So we kill this. 5 minutes left on the last pack, and look what happens. So I open on this pack. All good. I have Divine Toll in a few. So I Divine Toll. All looking good. I see the enhancement taking the shit, but he's fine. And then look what happens. Look at my GCDs. That's it, guys. I get the seed on the last pack. And my positioning doesn't register, and I get them seed, and everybody dies. And that's how their key breaks. And I actually can't do anything. I'm just dead because like it's showing that I'm over there, you know? And that's it. But I think there are valuable lessons to be learned here, and I'm definitely gonna time this key by the end of the season anyways. Um, I got it down pretty much perfectly. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this. See you later.